With chapter 15, there was a number of things that had to be considered. Just to give a summary of what happened, there were 20 North African students that were coming to Minnesota to visit, and a reporter by the name of Lim, who was working with the daily newspaper on campus, thought it was a great idea to interview them about their country and what they kind of learned essentially from uh, America because of the different versions that they would hear from living outside of our country. So, in this program, they decided instead of doing an overall summary between all the students, it's better to pick someone who has like a leader aspect to them. And she thought that going with a man named Ashraf or Ashrif would be a good candidate. He was also a English literature major, so his English was very good too. In doing the article, she explained to him what and how this was going to be published. She tried to explain as best as she could about like how the media works in America, and it was also something she had to do, but she didn't really have to do because he was going to classes for American media. But in this newspaper, he basically talked about how his father was revolutionary. He was a revolutionary leader, and he also talked about how there's a lot of different things with the educational system and just like different things in Tunisia, um, or Tunisian. I was still trying to work on the pronunciation on that. Um, that were essentially just a problem, and that's been a problem for years. And that he hopes to become a leader and or just the president of Tunisia so that he can change these problems. And he also talked about the leadership and how there was problems, and he looked up to Obama, and how the leadership that Obama displays of hope is something that needed to be displayed there as well. So the problem with this article, they had the State Department call them, and she was very rude and was basically telling them that they were unpatriotic, uh, because they were not, in her opinion, not concerned for his safety. Because they believe that if they either didn't delete the article or didn't change his name, then his safety will be in question because what will happen if he gets off the plane and the government's waiting for him already there? They can't do anything because they're on their soil. Or what if they send someone over here? What if he dies? What if it impairs his life? What if it impairs his ability to even be president over there? So it was just a number of different safety questions that were being brought up, and they actually took that into consideration. Long story short, they ended up just deleting their last names, but keeping everything the same, just so for safety precaution. Um, and also, Ashraf, after being explained more and more about the media process here, he learned that maybe he should take this into consideration and he definitely didn't want the program to stop because of him. So he decided to just send a letter in hopes that they would do something about it, and they did. Um, but now they have decided that from now on they're going to explain to the T and even over explain their media process so that people 100% understand. So, in my humble opinion, ethically, uh, just something to think about. If someone came up to me personally and said, I have a gambling problem, I shouldn't have made that article on gambling, it's affecting uh, my job or something like that, I personally have been like, well, why did you write it in the first place if it's affecting you? Like, that's your decision. I can't help you with that. But if it's something more severe, like somebody's safety is in the like in danger, then that's something I would consider and actually like try to help them through that. But when it came to Ashraf, uh, I'm on the side of he should have known because they she explained it to not only did she explain it to him, but he went to classes for this. But also I feel like the State Department was being a little bit stereotypical because with my knowledge on Africa and my friends who uh, are from Africa, they have they're very technologically advanced. So they know about media. They know the dangers of media, and they know how media can help. So I can understand the concerns, but I don't understand how he did not know because Africa is very well advanced. Well, some places in Africa. I don't know much about Tunisia, uh, but and it could be different there. So, but that is something that I would have considered and done my own research on because it seemed like they didn't do their own research until after the fact, and the research that they've done is very minimal because they discovered that it's a very free uh, speaking uh, place in Africa. It's very free. Like you have freedom of speech and you have freedom to post. So without knowledge, I would have still been like, okay, this is something I can still post. So I would have talked it over, and if he still felt uncomfortable with, letting all of his information, his personal information, hang out in the air like that, then I would have understood and still taken at least his last name down for safety reasons. But yep, that is my opinion on it.